Okay, so I'm going to start my lab. I already did the bromide test, so now we're going to move on to the carbonate. So we're going to add 8 drops to each of my 3 test tubes. Cutting it open would help. You see what I'm doing over here? Okay. Now I'm going to add 8 drops of hydrochloric acid to my first test tube and see if I get any gas or anything, or odor or anything. Oops, that'll be fine. Yeah, we got a little gas in there. So we'll note that on our chart. And then in the second test tube, I'm going to add silver nitrate and see if anything happens to that. And we need 3 drops. And it's cloudy. And then what do we do in the third test tube? Oh, nitric acid? No, yes. And then in the third test tube, we're going to add nitric acid. Yeah, nitric acid. HNO3. Oh, yeah. And we're adding how many drops? 3 drops? Just a few drops. To my third test tube? Second test tube. To my second test tube, we're going to add a couple drops of this and see if anything changes. And the precipitate's dissolved, so we no longer have cloudy situation going on in there. Not getting any kind of odor. Okay, and then I think for the third test tube, we're going to add the chlorine water. Or is that just for bromide and iodide? What does it say on them? If you scroll down a little. All right, we're going to do 20 drops of carbonate and a couple drops of hydrochloric acid and see what happens. And my last one. And then we'll be done with that one. Bubbles. Gas and bubbles for our confirmation test. Okay, I am going to rinse these out real quick and then we can move on to chloride and do the same thing. 1 minute. This took a long time. My 5 minutes are probably up. Not a long. Okay, we are going to do one more and then we will call it good. So now we're going to do chloride. So we're going to take our chloride and cut the top off. Over 5 minutes, I don't care. And do 8 drops in the first 2 test tubes. Now I'm going to add hydrochloric acid. Go down to the chloride one. Slow down. That's very definitely basic. Okay, well, whatever. Let's do a couple drops of this and see what happens. Nada. And now we're going to add a couple drops of silver nitrate to 6 drops of this. Very, very cloudy. It's like milky looking. And how do we get rid of it? Good Lord. I guess now we're adding our nitric acid to that same one and seeing if the precipitate dissolves or stays. And it stays. All right, we'll do the rest of this on our own later.